I'm back. Yes, sir. Uh, my sabbatical is over. I've been gone for a good minute. Sorry about that. I had to take care of some things. Got the haircut. Life is just crazy. It's been a crazy couple of months. I know, Johnny. I don't think you know.
You see your brother? I'm about to say you
Yeah,
sliced off. Yeah, what
cause
happened? You made a
you ain't
change,
see you ain't see on Instagram, bro.
like your quarterback. You didn't cut him off.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's gone, but it's cool. I've been wearing beanies the whole time. I can finally wear beanies now. Bro, I haven't felt my scalp in over a decade, bro. When I first washed my hair, bro, it was angelic,
Y-
bro. It was
your
like,
strength, your strength wasn't in your hair. That's all that matter.
oh yeah,
Welcome to the ball game.
I'm gonna grow it back out though. It's gonna be a long process, but enough about me. I'm still, new look, but I'm still the same old moderator that I've always been. And we got another NFL episode for y'all. This episode 140 of the Restricted Zone podcast here on YouTube, brought to you by Riverside. This is my first time using Riverside. Gotta say, very clean. Love the way I look. Y'all look great too. Y'all looking good. Hey man, they should sponsor us. Gotta get on that. We gotta get on that sponsorship. So
hmm
yeah, episode 141. So let me introduce myself for people who may have forgotten about me, people who are just tuning in and haven't seen me yet. I'm Jonah Wooten. I'm the moderator here for the Restricted Zone podcast. I kind of set things up for everybody, make sure I keep the conversation flowing well, and you know setting the guys up from segment to segment. That's pretty much all I do. And I give my 2 cents every now and then. Um, so Johnny, introduce yourself. We got a small group tonight, just three of us.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get it popping. What's going on? Hello, world. You already know, just Johnny tapping back in. All right, just an analyst, not an advocate. All right, not that much controversy. Think about what I say first. All right, look it up. Speaking
When's,
facts, they just heard
when's, the,
sometimes.
when's the last time you done any advocate work for Colin?
Man, you
When's the
got
last
you
time
got
you had
to
to advocate for
la-
him?
last segment. Last segment, you got to tune in.
Episode 139?
Man, I'm telling you, bro, this boy, he got to pay me more. The stuff that he say that I got to clean up, I'm telling you, he just speaks off the top of his head, but it's cool though. I know what he
Yeah.
means, and I'm just there to I'm the translator. It's all right.
For those of you who don't know, we have a group chat. We have a group chat of all the members of the podcast, and Colin, he's just like getting jumped in the group chat every day, just
I
about
got to
every
keep
day with his
saving this
takes,
man,
man. And it's like I be
constantly
feeling
saving this
bad for him.
man.
He be setting himself up sometimes too, though. He be talking a lot of trash. I'm like, bro, because now we got to defend you when it's about the Sixers or the Eagles. Now we got to come in and defend them and cash his checks for him. But we love Colin. Greg, we see you driving, bro. You on the road. Be safe out there. But how you doing? You
I'm
joining us
fine.
anyways?
What's good with y'all, man? You feel me? Greg Damas. Just know, if I ain't really bang with y'all, I would not be doing this right now. The name of the
Thanks.
game for today's episode, just know the name of the game is we gonna be cooking with grease. All right, we got some good topics. It's gonna be a good John. We cooking with grease today. I'm not even gonna hold you. We got some appetizers for y'all and the main course on the way. God bless. Be safe.
Is that like a Keith Lee reference?
Right, he sounded off.
God bless. Be safe in the
You know,
car.
we coming up, we coming off the Thanksgiving holiday. You know, I was
Yo,
in my Keith Lee bag when it came to that. Yeah,
yo, he
mom,
stopped.
your mashed potatoes was an 8 out of 10. Could have used a little bit more sugar, but you know what? It's cool. Not mashed
Sugar for
potatoes,
the
sweet potatoes,
mash,
sweet potatoes,
sweet
sweet potatoes.
potatoes.
Yeah, sweet potato. My fault,
Okay,
my
all
fault, my
right, there
fault.
you go.
I'm wilding. America, I'm sorry. I'm doing a lot right now. God
Hey,
bless.
And we gonna
what you
rank. We
mean?
gonna rank. We should have ranked
Yeah.
the top Thanksgiving foods too.
No, I know. Y'all was going, yeah. That's another episode, good brother. Yeah,
Yeah,
matter of
we
fact, we got
Next
this.
year,
dang.
Yeah.
See, I've been gone. I'm sorry. We could have did that. We could have did something fun. I mean, we can do a Christmas theme, John. We can do a Christmas theme
Yeah.
episode. That's fine. We'll
football
figure
on
it out.
Christmas anyway.
So let's get started. We took enough of your time already. Let's get right into this. NFL episode, of course, as always. The big story in the league right now is the big matchup on Sunday, 4:25 on Fox. Your Philadelphia Eagles, 10-1 on a 5-game winning streak, hosting the 8-3 49ers. This is the Cowboys and the Lions are still involved, but in my opinion, I feel like this game is for the NFC's number one seed because I feel that these two teams are the best two teams in the NFC. Of course, the Cowboys and Lions are right there. I know, I hear you, but all intents and purposes, this is the number one seed game in the NFC. The Eagles at home, they're underdogs. They are underdogs. They are 3-point underdogs. Their money line is set at plus 135 for all of my degenerates out there. And of course, this is a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game where the Eagles absolutely blew the doors off the San Francisco 49ers 31-7 en route to the Super Bowl. And yes, we know about the injuries that occurred to the quarterbacks of the San Francisco 49ers. What felt like back-to-back drives. I don't know if it was back-to-back drives or if it was like the same quarter, same half. But Hassan Reddick was just on a tear last January, and he took out Brock Purdy and then Josh Johnson with a concussion, and the 49ers have been running their mouths all offseason, all spring, all summer, into the fall. Debo calling James Bradbury trash, which is, it's kind of fitting this year, but, he can't say that. Only we can say that. You can't talk about James. No, I won't accept it. Just 49ers just giving us a ton of bulletin material. And I say us because, as you can see, I'm an Eagles fan. And so is Johnny and Greg and a couple other members of the podcast. And it's like, guys, just play. This is, like Hassan Reddick said to the media this week, this is the 49ers' chance to,
Line it
shut
up.
up. Line it up. Line that up. I won't say the whole thing, but line it up, So here
And
we
prove
go.
it again.
49ers, they've won 3 straight after losing 3 straight. The Eagles have won 5 straight. Fellas, Johnny, I'll start with you. Simple question: who wins and why?
Man, first of all, before
But
I,
should I even let's adjust the money line. Let's adjust that.
well, yeah, first of all, the money line is out of pocket. Before I get into that, can I just say that personally, like you said, Jonah, it's Eagles fans on this segment. My feelings are hurt. I am a personal fan of Debo Samuel. I am a personal fan of Brandon Ayuk. I like the team of the 49ers. I respected them. It kind of hurts me to say that I have to just not like them either because all those pleas, if you heard those Debo Samuel sound bites, then it is just ridiculous. He was just whining. It was just him just making excuses, saying that it's our fault that they fumbled the ball and we had field position that led to a touchdown, and they're not very good. When it's ironically it was their blocking scheme, it was their quarterback. It's football. Things like this happen, but his
Correct. That's why
sound
I'm talking about
bites,
Hassan Reddick.
I was just like, I was just like shocked at the lack of professionalism on Debo Samuel's part, and I just was like, wow, I'm like, man, you talk about talking out your feelings, like this dude, like, are you kidding me? But anyway, I'm just looking forward to this week. But as far as the money line goes, I am pretty much that's another shocker right there. What was the last time a home team was the underdog or was not the favorite? I don't know what Vegas is doing there. I don't know what they've seen or what type of inside information they have, but that's really weird. And it's a 3 point, 3.5,
But
almost
let me
4 point.
rephrase the question: when was the last time a 10-1 team was an underdog at home? Because we see
That's
we see home underdogs
with
all
their
the
starting
time
quarterback.
with their
With their
starting
starting court.
quarterback. All their starters. This isn't 2017 Nick Foles back up. No, we got everybody, like just about everybody healthy.
I
But
think it's because
Greg, make
maybe
sense
it's
of this.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Maybe it's because of the gauntlet of the schedule. I don't know what, man.
Like the
What you
49,
think?
I understand Chase Young, that whole thing, but 10-1, 8-3. Like, I think Vegas maybe is just trying to make money.
All I will say is
They're
this.
hoping people will take the bait on San Fran, maybe.
I don't really get the hype with San Fran. And maybe San Fran could come out and play well against the Eagles, you mean? Like, you mean really send a message because they've been waiting on this game for a year. But all I know is I watched the Eagles win a close game against the Vikings, that was a tooth and nail game, and the Eagles came out on top and did what they had to do to win that game. And that was with Jettas and Kirk Cousins as the starting quarterback. I seen the same Vikings team beat the 49ers on Monday Night Football without Jettas, with Jordan Addison putting up the game of his best game of the season thus far. So I don't really know what they seeing now. I realize I don't remember whether Debo and Trent Williams were hurt by then. I don't think they didn't have Chase Young at the time. So like, I don't know. I didn't look into that too much, but I do think without Jettas, you should be able to win that game. And I believe, I don't remember if that was at home or on the road, but as the perennial favorite, also
Minnesota was
having
at home.
as a perennial favorite, and then they started out the year 5-0, and then had come into that game with a loss. You expected them to play better than what they did, and they went on a 3-game losing streak. So I don't know. I'm told that this defense is revamped with Chase Young. They're gonna have a lot of hungry pass rushers. It's gonna be a battle of the trenches. I'm excited,
So they
but
switched the money line.
but it, but it's always gonna be caw. Birdman, caw.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you this now. Look, and one thing about that, I gotta say, it's weird because in my head, this game's gonna come down to third and fourth down. This is a small little stat. Like, let's take away the quarterbacks. Let's take away the hype from the receivers, offensive, defense. Even the coaching. When it comes down to it, it's third and fourth down, and it's going to come down to just the Eagles because the Niners. I didn't even notice they're like bottom third in the league on defensively on stopping third downs. The Eagles are top third. They're number one in fourth down efficiency. Third and fourth down efficiency, they get the job done. The Niners, they're bottom third in the league in stopping it. So when it comes, so their basic game plan is going to try to make us in third and long and fourth and long situations. I can see them trying to do that. Maybe trying to blitz Jalen, maybe trying to do a couple of stunts here and there. But the bottom line is, if it comes to third and short or fourth and short, we're going to stay on the field. And we win in time of possession. We come down the field, and that eventually leads to good things. And at the end of the day, like, I mean, I think the Niners, they did win 3 straight. They're coming off like a gritty win on Thanksgiving. So I guess Vegas is giving them the hype. But at the end of the day, 25-20, that's my final score right there, Eagles.
That was actually the final score in the game that they played in 2020 on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
That Carson game, that was such a weird year. 2020, Jalen's rookie year. He was sitting there on the bench watching the whole thing.
I wonder what he was thinking.
Not to bring that up, but that was the final score of that game against the 49ers. So I just think that's funny. It's supposed to be another rain game, supposedly. Another rain game. So it'll be a third straight week that the Eagles played with the rain. And obviously, last week, at least in the
Oh, it's
second half,
another rain game?
yeah.
Here's me
Oh, I
going.
don't
Hopefully,
want that. Oh, I don't
We
want
can.
that.
and it's like I want to tailgate too. I want to be in the lots. I'm not going to the game because ticket prices are insane. But I still want to go down there and vibe out with the folks, vibe out with my Eagles fans, and
Man, come
But
on, man.
I was
Wear
down
your
there last
poncho.
week, and
Got the tarp up.
oh man, look, I was bundled up. I had 2 jackets, no
Oh,
poncho.
you was down there
Rookie
with the
mistake.
Bills fans? Man.
There was no Bills fans, but it was the Bills game. I was hoping to see some Bills fans out there, maybe go through a table or two, but there was nobody.
They was
No
around,
Bills
man.
fans
They
was
was in
up.
the city. It was in
They
the
were.
city for sure.
They were. I was in M Lot, so they wasn't around M Lot. They wasn't around me, but maybe in K Lot they were doing suplexes on the tables and stuff. But yeah, another week with the rain. They dealt with it in Kansas City a couple Mondays
Mhm.
ago. They dealt with it last week at home. They ended up scoring 37 points, in bizarre fashion. um, there's so much that I just need to that I want to talk about regarding the Eagles because I just missed so much, like the Jets game and the Cowboys game and just all these crazy wild finishes that we've had. So first of all,
Well,
I just want to say, can we not go into the half down 17-7 for a third straight week? Can I get that? Can I get some
we don't.
first half production,
Well,
offense? Like we put together one good drive in the first half, the last 2 games, and then it's just nothing else with the rest of those 30 minutes. And then the second half is like You're still kind of struggling a little bit on that first drive, but then DeAndre Swift breaks off a 35-yard run in both games against Kansas City and Buffalo, and that kind of just ignites the whole offense. So maybe get number 0 involved in the game. I don't know. Just a
Yeah.
thought. I'm no coach. I'm no offense coordinator. I'm no play caller. I'm no expert. What do I know? I'm just a fan who's been watching for 25 years. But
Well, it is Brian Johnson's first season too, so he's not.
I know
He's getting good. He's getting better. All right,
it's his
and you know
first
they're
year
going to
as a
give the
play
ball to McCaffrey,
caller.
so we know we're going to
I
run to.
get it, but it's like at the same time you've been here already. You've been in the building. You worked under, Nick Sirianni. You worked under Shane Steichen. You've been coaching up Jalen pretty much his whole life. He's Uncle BJ to Jalen. He's Uncle BJ. So it's like you should kind of. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh on him. Are we being too harsh, Greg, on Brian Johnson?
Personally,
Like,
yeah, I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to know what people are expecting, like, from the Philadelphia Eagles, but, like, I don't like, and I mentioned this briefly on the last podcast, but for all the criticisms from the play calling in terms of the Eagles, I mean, I don't know. I can't recall if Brian Johnson has been an offensive coordinator in the past in another capacity, but I remember last year the critiques against the Eagles, the main ones being that they were a second quarter team because that's when they scored the majority of their points. There was
they
a
did.
there was there was a wish that the Eagles scored more points in the second half because they did it. And then there was lamenting the fact that they didn't play a hard enough schedule. And that was the reason why the Eagles had such a great record. And I remember being a strong portion through the season. Eagles ain't play nobody. Anytime they play somebody, somebody's always hurt, yada, yada, yada. This year, we are going up against the past 3 weeks. No. This season, we've gone against the Miami Dolphins, and we've gone against
I
the
need to get
Kansas City
AirPods.
Chiefs. You said what?
No, my bad. My phone
No, you
tripped
good. You
over. Yeah, I need to get
good.
AirPods so I can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brother. Hanukkah's right around
but
the
go ahead.
corner. Consider it. Consider it.
Oh no, I'm gonna
But
treat
yeah,
myself. Yeah.
yeah, as you should, as you should. You deserve it.
You said Hanukkah. Hold on. You
Yeah.
Jewish?
Huh? Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Three Kings. We don't discriminate on the Recidivism on podcast. We
There
celebrate
you go.
all.
I
We
hear you.
celebrate
I'm
all
just.
different
I was just
cultures. You know
asking.
what I mean? Yeah. I just thought I'd switch it up. You know what I mean? Do I celebrate personally? No, but shout out to all my
Happy
people
holiday.
out there that
That's
do.
why we just say happy holidays now, because you
For
never know.
sure, yeah. We shouting out, yeah. Everyone's invited at the Restricted Zone podcast, yeah, for sure.
Everybody's
Um,
inclusive. We love everybody.
but but nah,
Off the
I
liquor.
think I think for his play calling, I want to say he's a first time play caller, and I think he's learning it all on the fly. And if he's able to
In
put up
NFL ethics,
enough,
yeah.
yeah, if he's able to do enough to be able to be beating the Miami Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, the Dallas Cowboys, and potentially the
Minnesota.
49ers and Minnesota, potentially the Dallas Cowboys again. And we have
Greg, I think you broke up there a little bit at the end, but yeah, you broke up a little bit, but we got you back.
all right,
Yeah, I
bet, bet,
got you.
bet.
Yes, sir.
I was saying to be able to be doing.
You might be driving by some trees.
Can you
I
pull
can hear you. Are you surrounded by trees right now? By any chance on your
Yeah,
drive? That
yeah.
might be like interfering with
We
your
go, yeah,
signal.
we going past trees. Hold on, let me just say this real quick. Um, I just think to be able to be for whatever critiques we have against Brian Johnson to be doing all that as a first time play caller is crazy. And to be winning these
I hear
games
you.
is crazy. So like I think he's not getting enough respect. I think he will. And I think he'll just learn, he'll get better with time. To have two offensive and defensive coordinators be their first time and we're 10-1, that just tells me that we're scratching the surface. So no, we don't have the same repetition as they do defensively on the Dallas Cowboys, or as they do offensively on the San Francisco 49ers. But we're doing pretty well. And if we beat the 49ers, I don't care how many games we lose the rest of the season. We run a gauntlet in terms of the people that we've been able to beat. And for first year coordinators to be doing that, I
I
think it
appreciate
says
that
a lot of.
courtesy. He still got ranked with the 1 seed.
No, for sure. But I think y'all get my point. I
Yeah.
gotta close my
I know what you mean. I know.
yeah. Please everyone excuse me. I gotta close my
Yeah, just
my video for a second.
no. You're all good. You're all good, bro. To his point is like, all right, big picture. Speaking big picture, you just take a step back. You debrief yourself from each game each week, and you let the emotions come down. You wake up the next day and you sleep it off, like after each game, and you sit back and you say, all right, 10-1, like this is what you wanted. All right, like I think the best way to describe it, I saw this on Twitter, and it's like it just encapsulates everything that I've been feeling the last few months. Being an Eagles fan is incredible each and every day, except for the 3 hours each week that they actually play the game. Like, that's the best way to describe it. Like, sitting here, starting 5-0, going 5-6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1, 10-1. Only team in the league with every other team has 3 losses or more. The best they can do is 14-3. Eagles are like, we're up here, 10-1. Even if with the loss on Sunday is like, okay, you still got a game lead in the conference. I think we just lost Greg for a second. Hopefully he jumps back in. But you think about it, big picture. All right, cool. We're 10-1. But it's like during those games, it's like just the most stressful. Like I didn't feel like this last year. Maybe in a couple games here and there, I felt like, all right, they're kind of sweating it out a little bit. It's a little stressful. Like the Indianapolis game last year, I can think off the top of my head. I think that was a 1-point win. That wasn't easy by any chance. The Houston game was way closer than it should have been. But they won a lot of games by 20, 30 points. And of course, like Greg said, weaker opponents. So it's like now, they're going through this tough stretch. They're going through this gauntlet, but it's like you kind of expect them. You kind of just expect excellence. Like
Right, I
it's like
just feel like
like
yeah. Go ahead, bro. My fault.
I expect them to still win by at least because even against these teams like Kansas City and Buffalo, like they're better than like the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. Period. And I feel like they can beat any team by 10 points on any given Sunday.
But I think
And
to say something like that is almost to like, well, I think the people that are like we can beat teams by like 10 plus points and almost go into the each game with that expectation, regardless of what a team's
I'll set
record is.
myself up for failure. But
Yeah, especially depending on like where teams are at. I think storylines do matter, and how and what a team is going through at the time that they play the Eagles are important. I had a bad feeling that we were going to lose to the Bills last week, not necessarily because the Bills are better than us. I think that the Bills were more desperate, and sometimes when your plate is full because you keep eating them dubs, it can be hard sometimes to I forget who said it, but he said like it can be hard to there's a boxer that said one time it can be hard to get up in the morning when your sheets are like when your sheets are like Versace, and like you know what I'm saying, or when your thread count when you know what I'm saying is Egyptian when you have 8,000
yeah,
thread count, you know what I mean, like you're used to like success, so you're not going to be as hungry as someone that's 6-5 who's battling for their playoff lives and knows that they need to be playing better and just fired their offensive coordinator. And now they have a new offense coordinator that's leading the way and wants to reinvoke new life into the offense. Like, I think there's just like times the Kansas City won the championship last year. We played Kansas City off Kansas City's bye when we know Andy Reid's pedigree as a head coach, what he's able to do coming off the bye. Not only did we play Andy Reid coming off the bye, we play Andy Reid coming off the bye in Kansas City,
Kansas
in
City.
Arrowhead. I was gonna say Burrowhead, in Arrowhead, and you would
I'm
think,
always there for that game, by the way.
we lost. How some of the people were talking about the win. You know how many people said? How many people talked about what if the Chiefs had done this? If the Chiefs had done this, I don't care what happened. You mean like, oh, I can say from that Super Bowl last year if Jalen Hurts ain't fumbled the ball, but who got the ring? I don't really want to, like, it don't matter. It's if you're either eating L's or you're eating dubs. And we eating dubs right now. And the fact that we keep finding a way to win, especially with the critique being last year that we weren't a second half team and we were never in close games and we were playing mediocre competition to be playing some of the competition this year. We have like the second hardest strength of schedule, I think, in the league right now in terms of the
The
people.
hardest.
Our wins are the second strongest in terms of like the people that we've been able to beat in terms of record wise this season. We're the second in the league. We've been able to win the close games. We've been scoring way more points in the second half of games than we were in the first half of games, which is literally the complete opposite of what we were doing last year and the critique that people were giving us last year, and they're still not satisfied. Which is why it makes me feel bad, because now when people talk about how Eagles fans are unsatisfied and ungrateful and stuff like that, this scenario really makes me feel that way. Because I'm like, bro, the football gods gave you exactly what you were asking for based off of last year's team, and you're complaining that we're not last year's team. Even though last year's team, y'all were complaining that we didn't have the qualifications that we do of this year's team. Make it make sense. You feel what I'm saying? Like the kid that wants the
I'm
Power
not
Ranger
mad that they're winning.
on Christmas is mad that he got a Power Ranger on Christmas. What did you said you wanted that?
Yeah. Let me tell you. Let me tell you why.
All right, but the
Let me
Power
just.
Ranger, like the package he came in, got ripped already. Like
Yeah.
it's like somebody
Spoiled.
opened it,
Spoiled.
and
Spoiled.
put it back in the
Spoiled.
package and gave it to you.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you why we expect excellence. Let me tell you why we going through the gauntlet and this 10-1 record is way more impressive than last year. And I'm gonna tell you why, like they're nerve wracking, but at the same time, you feel like we can beat anybody ahead. Like it's not because all right. At the end of the day, they know on this panel the majority of us are Eagles fans. This is a Philly podcast, but it is for America and for the world, honestly. So but we may sound biased, right? We have listeners that we might even have 49ers listeners here. And I just want to let y'all know that we're not biased here. We're speaking facts. We may have a little bit of emotion, but we're speaking facts. Game winning drives up to week 12. So far in this league, out of all quarterbacks in the league, Jalen Hurts is tied for first with 4. He's tied for first with
He
4
got
fourth quarter game winning drives. All right. The stats back up what we're saying. Patrick Mahomes has 1 so far this year. Brock Purdy has none so far this year. Lamar Jackson, love you, brother. You have not proved yourself yet. You have 0 game winning drives so far this year. Tua Tagovailoa only has 1. These are quarterbacks. Josh Allen, 0-6 in overtime games for his career. 9-8 in one possession games. Jalen Hurts, when the Eagles are down 10 points or more, he has a passer rating of 135. When the Eagles are down, what was the stat? When the Eagles are down, what is it? I have it right here. He has a passer rating of
at halftime or
after halftime, he has a passer rating of 116. When the game is
Dominique.
tied, when the game is tied, he has a touchdown to interception ratio of 6-1. When he's playing from behind, it's a touchdown interception ratio 8-0. We're not speaking out of emotion. We're not biased here. He's earning the bragging rights. He's earning the flowers that we're giving him. He's earning the right for us to say that we're confident going through this gauntlet and in the next games. Like it's just insane, bro. Like who's playing so far right now? Dak Prescott. I mean, he's having a great year. He went 17-2 touchdown to interception ratio so far, 336 yards a game. Brock Purdy, even he's got an 8-3 touchdown interception for 318 yards per game. We're not discrediting the other opponent's stats. We're not discrediting their numbers. We're just talking simply when it comes to wins, fourth quarter drives, and overtime and beyond. And at the same time, and Jalen Hurts is number one. He's tied for first, ironically, with Russell Wilson. I don't know why he's up there so far. And Desmond Ritter from the Atlanta Falcons, surprisingly, had four fourth quarter comebacks. But neither here nor there. At the end of the day, as far as playoff contention and going ahead is concerned, Jalen Hurts is number one. He's tied for first
Man,
with those. I have to say it.
I'm
He's
mad
tied for
at you.
first, but
I'm
the
mad
Aints
at you
at the
right now.
same time he's got four. He's first. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to do those name drops, but they're up there too.
No,
They have four in their
no,
own
I'm
right.
not
I
mad.
mean,
No,
but
because you spitting
I
facts.
didn't mean. I digress. The main
I'm not
statement
mad at
I'm
what you're
making
saying.
is
I'm mad at
the facts, the
when you're saying
stats
it.
back up what we're saying. All right. The
Because
facts, we're not biased. We are Eagles fans, but at the same time, we have facts to back up our proof. And Jalen is that guy, bro. That's why you had that confidence, Jonah. That's why you feel like we can beat any other team. That's why you feel that way.
oh, of course. See, man. All right. Take it. First of all, take a deep breath. All right, take a deep breath. We hear you. I hear you. Greg hears you. We all hear you. Damn, man, you jumped ahead. You jumped right into the MVP talk. We was getting to that. I got you. But that's a
Oh,
perfect segue.
I got other stats for that too. I just
Yeah,
made
that's
a
a
point with
perfect
this right
segue
here.
though because and all right. Well, before we get to that, I just want to kind of wrap that conversation with a neat little bow. Listen, I'm not mad that we're winning games. I'm not even mad that we're winning games close. Like it's the nature of the NFL. I'm not mad at it. I'm just because first of all, you're gonna need that experience come January and February.
Absolutely.
Because the
Battle
Eagles
scars.
coasted in the NFC playoffs. They coasted against the Giants. They coasted against the 49ers. And then once they got to that seesaw matchup against Kansas City, they
We
came up
showed
short.
out. They
It's
did
just
show out though.
like
Link down swing.
The Eagles did feel a little more one dimensional last year. This year is like we know they have that blowout capability in them. We know they do. And I feel like towards the end of the season with those matchups, Seattle, New York, Arizona, we're going to see some blowouts. So, I'm just happy with the wins. Racking up the wins now, get the 1 seed, win the division, all that good stuff. I'm just saying, as a fan, I would like to not stress for 3 hours every Sunday or Monday. That's all.
Me
That's all.
too. Me too,
And
brother.
it's been consistent this year. They've only won 3 games by more than one score. At Tampa, at Los Angeles, and then at home against Miami. That
Yeah.
was probably the most impressive win of the season at home against Miami, the first Kelly Green game. Other than that, they've been in one-score games all year. That's all. I'm just saying. Eight one-score games. It does something to you, and it's not fun. Winning the games after the game, talking about it through that week is fun, but the actual 3 hours, not so much. But I digress. I love my team. I'm not mad at the 10-1 record at all. All right, and I respect everything that you and Greg, said. Like I respect the passion. Like, listen, wins are a win. Got to take them how we get them. I get it. But as you were just saying, as you were just breaking down those numbers, moving on to the MVP race because I feel like it's something that we haven't discussed at all so far this season. Certainly not I. I haven't been here, but I don't think you guys have either. So what better time than now? We're a little past the halfway mark of the season. We're actually going into the final stretch. We're heading into December. We've got about 6 weeks left on the NFL schedule in the regular season. So the playoff races are heating up. That means the MVP race is also heating up. And it's a bit of a tricky one this year. Gotta be honest. For the first time in a long time, it doesn't seem like there's not even one player, let alone two or three, but one that's like just absolute dominating the league right now. That's like Tyreek Hill had a stretch where he was dominating. He cooled off. AJ Brown had a stretch where he was dominating. Cooled off. Christian McCaffrey had that touchdown streak. He tied the record. He got hurt. That cooled his momentum off. So it's like, and the quarterback play all over the league feels like it took a step back. And now it's starting to open the floodgates of, well, should this be like the first time since Adrian Peterson? I forget the year. Maybe 2013. Forgive me. The last time we had a non-quarterback win the NFL MVP award. So right now, you look at the current betting favorites. You look at the odds. Jalen Hurts is and rightfully should be. He is the betting favorite to win MVP right now at plus
Yes, sir.
140. Behind him is Pat Mahomes at plus 350. Then you have Lamar Jackson at plus 400. All the guys that you've mentioned. Dak plus 800. And then I don't think you mentioned Brock Purdy, but he's a plus 1,400 right now. His odds will go through the roof if he pulls off. I guess it wouldn't be an upset, but if he pulls off the road win, that would greatly help his chances. It's not gonna happen. No, but it would greatly help his chances if it were to happen. And also his teammate Christian McCaffrey. He's the only non-quarterback in the top 10 for odds. He's at plus 2,500. So he's a long shot right now to win MVP, and he's the only non-quarterback hope to win MVP this year. Some other guys, C.J. Stroud and Tua Tagovailoa, their names have been thrown around. C.J. Stroud, rightfully, deservedly so. I feel like he's a lock for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Greg, you're back. What's up, man?
Shout out to the trees in Harrisburg, man. They get crazy.
It's all good, bro. We
MVP talk.
We segued into the MVP talk, so I was kind of just setting it up for y'all right now.
Oh, come on.
I'll let Johnny go first. Let you just ease your way back in. So,
All right, bet.
I could ask who your MVP favorite is right now, but I feel like I know the answer from both of you. It's pretty simple. Like it's Jalen Hurts. All right.
Yeah,
I need you guys to make a solid case, and you kind of already did, Johnny, telling me why he deserves to be the favorite, because I know he does. But everybody, I guess maybe it's just Twitter. Maybe I'm just chronically online. Maybe I'm just online too much. I need to just step outside, get some fresh air, let the sun rays hit me, touch some grass, and maybe see what people in the real world are talking about. Because online is like Jalen Hurts, the running back, MVP. No, and they're pulling up the passing numbers. No, they don't look sexy. No, he's only got 15 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions, yada yada yada. But they're not taking everything into account. So I'm gonna ask you guys, Greg, if you're cool, I can start with you because Johnny
Let's
kind of
do it.
already gave his little spiel. Why is Jalen Hurts the MVP of the NFL right now?
Because at the end of the day, I don't know what happened to this league where we became stat driven, right? I feel like at the end of the day, an eye test has to matter. And for at this point in the season, the Eagles are not only are they 10-1, but we can make the argument that the Eagles realistically should not have won 4 out of the 10 wins that are at bare minimum. At bare minimum, if you just wanted to, you can make the argument that the Eagles had no business winning at somewhere between 4 to 5 of their 10 wins. I'd make the argument that one of the main reasons, and you can make the argument that maybe Jalen Hurts is part of the problem as to why they're like behind in the first place. But I'd make the argument that I've seen enough from Jalen Hurts to know that if the game's on the line, I want the ball in his hands. I don't know when. I remember being a kid and they used to flaunt on Sunday Night Football whenever I had to see those Forsaken Giants on Sunday Night Football with Eli Manning. I remember they used to applaud Eli Manning for being one of the best fourth quarter quarterbacks in the league and being able to lead drives and being able to win games, game-winning drives. Eli Manning was always at the top of the list. Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady. We used to glorify quarterbacks that could do that. Now, if you're not winning by 40, you're not winning. I thought the NFL was different from college. You gotta win. You gotta win style points for winning nowadays, as opposed to just being able to win. These are grown men we talking about. They got kids.
Like we still got the BCS committee or something. Like style
Exactly.
points, man. Like
Exactly.
it's the March Madness tournament. Like
Exactly.
We playing on the road against the defending Super Bowl champions, and if we didn't win by 30, we didn't really
Agreed.
win. We got the Dallas Cowboys. We got the Dallas Cowboys coming to Philadelphia, and because Dak Prescott, his foot stepped out of bounds and he didn't get the conversion. They keep talking about the what if he did that? What if they made the connection? What if Josh Allen made the y'all keep telling me about this what if. What happened? What happened? And all I know is when the ball was in the other quarterback's hand, when it was the Kansas City Chiefs, when it was the Dallas Cowboys, when it was the Buffalo Bills, it was close but no cigar. It was Dak Prescott's foot was so close to being in bounds, but it wasn't. It was Patrick Mahomes. He got it in the ball in the wide receiver's hands, but he dropped it. It was
Schumacher, his knee hit down at the goal line
exactly
before the
Schumacher's
ball crossed.
exactly. It was Gabe Davis and wasn't on the same page with his quarterback when he ran the option route. It was
Valdez Scantling with the drop.
all these ifs as opposed to all these ifs when it's the other quarterback, and we're glorifying the if scenario where we're not glorifying Jalen Hurts when the ball's in his hand and the game's on the line. He's able to come through with results each and every week. I don't know what else you need, but the combination. If you're looking at Jalen Hurts solely as a passer, all right, you got me. Hey, you win. He's not
still a
he.
great passer.
But I'm just talking about statistically because there's always going to be them stat bulls. But when you take into consideration Jalen Hurts, the passer and the runner, the fact that he has 10, I believe he has 10 plus rushing touchdowns this season, and he broke the QB record this season for most rushing touchdowns in a
30,
career
and counting.
over Cam Newton.
Over
So
3
like,
seasons.
so we gonna pretend like Jalen Hurts not doing all this? I keep seeing Jalen Hurts put his team in a position to win. We glorify. I'll tell you somebody that's not even in the MVP conversation, but I'll give you somebody that every time we glorify him, it never makes sense to me. We glorify Justin Herbert because of the talent that he has. Yet every single time I watch Justin Herbert play, when it's time, you can say anything you want about Brandon Staley. You can say anything you want about that defense. But I've seen so many times when it's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers and the game's on the line, it has less to do with play calling, and it really comes down to just the quarterback making a play. The quarterback making a play. We make all these excuses for Justin Herbert, but every single time, regardless of the scenario, how many times is Justin Herbert in a one-score game with the ball in his hand to go out and win the game, and he comes up short? It's a sack to end the game. It was an interception against the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. But you can say anything. I watched Sunday Night Football against the Ravens. The Chargers gave up 13 points to the Baltimore Ravens. Offensively, and you can't score more than 13 points, but we're gonna make all these excuses for Justin Herbert. How about we give Jalen Hurts the credit he deserves for being a leader, for being able to guide this team to a 10-1 record, and for being the MVP of this league. I'm tired of this Jalen Hurts disrespect. For real. Like, I don't know how many brothers do you know that can go 10-1 and people are still questioning whether he's a good passer. How many people
I
are
just find it
questioning
funny at this point.
you feel me? Like, if we didn't have this many black quarterbacks in the league, I'll make the argument this was a race thing, but I'm not going to do it. But I just know Jalen Hurts is too good of
No,
a
I ain't
brother.
going. Well,
I'm just going to say Jalen Hurts is too good of a brother because he's too humble and he's too confident in his ability to clap back. Because if it was me and I'm leading an Eagles team to 10-1 record back-to-back years, oh, you gonna hear about it. Your mom gonna hear about it. Your second cousin on your mom's side gonna hear about it. Numbers? Oh, stop playing. Jalen Hurts. Yo, I
Greg carrying
gotta
the
focus
episode
on the
today.
road. I gotta
Greg,
focus on the road. Now,
you do that because
before I
I
start
lost
talking
this
like
shot.
Michael
I don't
Irvin,
even.
I'm sweating.
I lost this shot, man. It's just like a blurred image, man. But you,
Does that answer your question, Jonah? We pretty much in
yes,
agreement with this segment.
Yeah, we don't got to talk about it anymore. I mean,
I
we
will
can
say,
discuss.
hold on. Let me ask y'all though. Because listen, we always say MVP is a QB driven, is a
I was gonna
QB.
say,
Yeah,
do you want
MVP.
to shelve that conversation for everybody else, or do you want to discuss it now? Because
Um,
I feel like we can save it. Because
yeah, you're right. We can say it.
we'll save it. Because I feel like Jalen's gonna win,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and when he does, then I'm gonna bring it up to the rest of to whoever is on that particular episode. I'm gonna bring it up because I see the discourse and it's like, yeah, we kind of talk about it every year. Like, yeah, quarterbacks, the best quarterback or the best player on the best team, which is usually the quarterback, wins MVP. Rodgers, Mahomes, Manning 4 times, Brady, yada yada yada. But now Jalen Hurts is leading the pack. He's leading the conversation. Now these talks of quarterback, it's just a quarterback. Well, now it's like it's being amplified because it's like, they're just giving it to him because he's the quarterback on the best team in the league. All right. I see what's
I'm
going on
crying,
here.
bro.
I
He's
see what's
also got
going on here, but
he's a yeah, that's funny, bro.
because
He's the
they never want
quarterback
to factor in
best
the rushing numbers because he's a quarterback.
best
He's supposed
quarterback on
to
a
just throw a
he's just the
ball and
best
blah blah blah.
quarterback on the best team
He's
in the league, and
like
he's only got the second best winning percentage when it's down 10 points or more. But
he's supposed to
like he
throw
doesn't just
400
win.
yards and 4 touchdowns a game, and he's supposed to have a passer rating of 150 every game. Like, okay, like sorry. First of all, that's just not the offense that the Eagles run. Because if they
Whatever,
wanted
bro.
to air it out, we saw it last year. We saw it against Tennessee. We saw it
Whatever,
against
bro.
Pittsburgh. We saw it in the Super Bowl. They can air the ball out, but that's just not the offense they run. But
Uh,
I'll take a.
anyway,
Yeah,
and
they can have their quarterbacks that fill the stat sheets up. I'll take a quarterback
yeah,
that
like
fills up the
Justin
win
Herbert's
column.
probably got the prettiest spiral, the tightest spiral in the league, but he don't like he
Yeah,
has arm
fill up
talent.
take
He has
him.
arm
He
talent, but
he
he
fill up
doesn't
a
win.
stat sheet. Take him. I'll take a quarterback that fills up the win column. I don't care about the
I,
stat
And a
sheet.
lot of that
I
you can blame on Brandon Staley if you want, but Justin Herbert doesn't win games. He doesn't put the team on his
and,
back. He needs help. Jalen Hurts is helping the Eagles.
and and
To
just
say,
as a
oh, Jalen Hurts
PSA,
got all this talent around him. That he has AJ Brown and Smitty and Goddard and that offensive line. Okay, we saw what Gardner Minshew did with the exact same talent, minus DeAndre Swift. He had Miles Sanders instead at running back. We saw
and
how
just
we
as
saw
a,
how that worked against New Orleans.
and just as a
I
PSA,
digress.
how many times? If I have to hear somebody else talk about how the like 4th-and-1 play needs to be banned, do you? And if it really needed
That's a
to be,
whole nother conversation.
if it needed to be banned, it needs to be banned because of how well the Eagles are executing it. Do you any? If the reason why the Eagles are executing well, because it's not like this is some like, it's not like this is some like magical play that only the Eagles can run. The reason why it's
Everybody can run it.
successful is because that Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback in the league that can squat for 600 pounds. He got the legs. He got the legs of an offensive lineman as a quarterback. So it's like
Also, Jason Kelsey deserves so much credit for that
Ain't a
too.
no,
Hall
for
of Fame
sure.
center. Ain't a Hall of
He
Fame
gets
center.
down
So
there,
just get
man.
you.
He takes a
So just
beating
get you.
every time.
So basically, just get you a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds and a Hall of Fame center, and you can do it all you want
Yeah,
to.
Right.
exactly.
No, I mean, clearly they can. That's why they want to ban him. Everyone's talking about banning.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. That's kind of, and I see that all the talking heads are kind of walking back on their statements about the play because they're seeing that everybody else in the league is trying to play and they're not succeeding, and they're just like, well, the Eagles are just good at it. It's not a cheat code. They're not cheating. It's in the rule books. It's just our O line gets down, they get lower than the other team's D line, and they push. They're just stronger,
Right.
but it can be stopped. We've seen the play can be stopped. It's just about your personnel, how much talent's on your offensive line, and how strong your quarterback is. But this is starting to feel like an Eagle centric episode, which I kind of wouldn't mind. But I know the folks, they tuned in for a whole NFL podcast, and we still have some more stuff to go over. Let's talk about these Panthers. Um, and it's Frank Reich for the second straight year. For a second straight year, has been fired in November mid-season. Last year, he was the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. He was let go in November. Jeff Saturday took over. This year, he's let go again after a 1-10 start, abysmal, easily the worst record in the NFL. And their special teams coordinator, Chris Tabor, will take over as interim head coach. So, as I've just mentioned, they're 1-10, worst team in the league by far. Sorry, Miles Sanders, you got your money, but brother, it's a rough situation down there. 30th in the league in total offense. They're 29th in scoring offense. And, it's like they're 1-10. Is like, well, on the bright side, we got the number one overall pick, right? No, they don't. They traded it to Chicago last year as a part of a package deal to move up to number one in the 2023 NFL draft. So now in 2024, the Bears, who are already had the fourth draft pick as their own, they now own the number one overall pick in the NFL, thanks to the Panthers. So, um, uh, are they having buyer's remorse right now on Bryce Young? And I say buyer's remorse not in terms of a contract, but in terms of how much they gave up to move up to number one again. And when CJ Stroud was right there, they wanted. I think initially they wanted Stroud, and then they kind of or those are just false reports, because according to Dave Tepper, their owner, it was unanimous that all the coaches, all the front office, they wanted Bryce Young. They were dead set. This is why we gave up so much to get him. And I don't want to say it's his fault because he's a rookie. But, could they be having buyer's remorse right now? Because CJ Stroud, offensive rookie of the year, a faint MVP candidate. He's having a great year. Greg, how would you assess everything going on down south right now?
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm a owner, if I'm a coach, I don't want to step nowhere near this team. What? Yo, they fired Frank Reich 11 games into the season. You just hired him in the offseason. I can't get a I can't get a full 17 games? Nah, you're crazy. My number one wide receiver is Adam Thielen, 34-year-old Adam Thielen. And you expected quality wins? Yo, be serious. Yo, what's going on? David Tepper, let's have a talk. You're a billionaire. All right? You did not become a billionaire by being this impatient. There's no way. 11 games. Now, don't get me wrong. Frank Reich had a hand in drafting Bryce Young. Frank had a hand in letting DJ Moore being trade eligible to be able to get that draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, the defense has been a little bit on decline. Now they're going to lose Brian Burns, which is going to make it even worse. But the defense was a little bit middle of the pack anyway. Like, I need to know as an owner, what were your expectations? And how, if at all, was CJ Stroud's immediate success impacting your desire to let this man go? Because here's my thing. CJ Stroud's not winning games in Carolina with Adam Thielen as the number one wide receiver. Straight like that. And don't disrespect the Miles Sanders, but I got a bum ankle and I could rush for at least a solid 500 yards behind that Eagles offense. So no disrespect to Miles Sanders, but he's had a fumbling problem and he's had an injury problem. And to be in a situation where the offensive line isn't as good because the brother, Bryce Young be going through it with that offensive line. You go from the league's best offensive line last year to the league's worst offensive line this year. You are prone to fumbling the football and you're injury prone? Nah, you weren't going to succeed there. And I know you needed the money, but you weren't going to succeed there. So when I'm looking at CJ Stroud, when I'm looking at CJ Stroud and the success he had, I think David Tepper got impatient. But I'm telling y'all, Bryce, if I'm coach, I don't want to go there. And for real, what they need to do, they need to get a wide receiver in the second round of this draft. Because Bryce Young can't, and I don't even want to call Adam Thielen a scrub. Because he's done a lot. I was going to say a thug. A scrub, but he's done a lot in this league. But his best years, his best years are behind him. Yeah.
Father time undefeated, we all know. Especially in that running back position, because Miles, he actually did want to stay. He wanted to stay here, but
Nah,
he was
he
like
also wanted his bread too.
he did like he wanted to sign his contract here, but he wasn't getting that money here. It just wasn't
No, for
happening.
sure.
So
No, for sure. I'm not gonna lie.
Johnny,
I like DeAndre Swift.
David Tepper. I mean, he took over for Jerry Richardson 2018 as the owner of this Panthers team, and they're 30-63 in his 5-year tenure so far. I mean, I don't want to invoke Dan Snyder's name because we know the mess that he was, just regarding, the Washington football Commanders skins, whatever the hell, you know, but he also had a lot of scandalous things going on, like outside of the realm of football, like just poor business decisions, just doing horrible things to the people, in that organization. And of course, that terrible, just rundown stadium that they got down there in Maryland. I don't want to invoke his name, but it feels like David Tepper and also Jim Irsay a little bit they're kind of like in that territory of just like bad owners, and it's nothing like he owns a team. It's like you can't really just force him out. Nothing he can really do. But is he the answer?
Did,
Like
To Temper's credit, though, Temper's only been an owner in the NFL for the past 5 years, I believe. Because his
I know,
first,
yeah,
yeah. So like, he hired Matt Rule, and then like Matt Rule was his first hire, and then it was Frank Reich for. So it's like he hasn't been I can't go that far because he hasn't been an owner for that long. But like, I think
that's why. Yeah,
yeah. Just
like
yeah,
wanted to
but
throw that in
I
there.
don't want to invoke Dan Snyder because I've
yeah,
been hearing that comparison. It's like he's not that bad. It's just the football is bad. He personally isn't bad. Maybe, I mean, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I don't know, who he is as a person, but I feel like I haven't heard his name in any, scandalous material. It's just on the field, you're just not getting a result. So it's like, what do you do? Do you hire a new GM? It's like, who comes in to coach for you next year, long
But
term?
but you're
well, look,
my thing is you're stunting. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, no, no.
nah,
Go,
I'm about to
go.
go, Greg.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say the biggest thing is that like in all this fluctuation, the Matt Rule era was dominated by an inability to find a franchise quarterback. So you go into this coaching search wanting a coach that can develop, get a franchise quarterback, and then a coach that can develop him. I think that Frank Reich has a track record as the bare minimum of being able that I don't necessarily know if he can get attract the talent, like the talent that's already existing there. But if it's clear that someone has some level of generational talent, I think Frank Reich's track record is that he can develop them into an MVP caliber candidate. So to rob Bryce Young of of consistency at the head coaching position of an offensive philosophy position is with just only 11 games into the coach's first season is honestly a travesty and a crime that I think is going to be more of David Temper's legacy if Bryce Young does end up flopping out more than anything else. Because you're not even giving Bryce Young a fair chance at this point. And it's like, come on.
exactly.
Like,
It's
like,
instability. It's
right. Like,
how
I
is he
don't
supposed to learn?
like how you give a Matt Rule 4 years,
Like
but you give Frank Wright 11 games? Come
like
on,
Frank
bro.
Reich. I mean, we it did work in Indy, and it wasn't working this year. But it's not like he's a Urban Meyer. He's no Urban Meyer.
I beg to
Like
differ.
he deserved his second year.
I beg to differ. I think it was working in Indy until it was working in Indy when the quarterback when the quarterbacking was consistent. Philip Rivers guided the Indianapolis Colts to a playoff berth. You know what I mean? We all know what Carson Wentz is. And Frank Wright accepted the job initially with the intention of being able to work with Andrew Luck. So I'd make the argument that with Frank Wright, when given a roster full of talent, is able to do wonders. And we forget
because of how that Carson Wentz season ended, that they were 2 games away, that they had to win one of their final 2 games to make the playoffs, and they didn't. And I'd make the argument that it was more of an indictment on who Carson Wentz had become than what Frank Reich had done as a coach. So personally, I think Frank Reich is a pretty good coach in terms of a development. Is he going to be the coach that gets you to a Super Bowl? Probably not. But in a situation where you needed to develop your quarterback, Frank Reich was the man for the job, and you squandered that opportunity.
And
Yeah, they
he
didn't even
did
give
have,
that relationship a chance. Go ahead, John.
yeah. Yeah, he did have Matt Ryan too, for a stint. He did have a Hall of Fame quarterback at one point, or maybe a possibly future Hall of Fame,
But
possibly
He
be
he
future.
has won the potential
darn
Hall of
well
Fame.
Matt Ryan was done. Matt Ryan was
But he
done.
just, yeah, that's why I said he was only there for a short stint, because I think even in that stint, they was trying to see, all right, developing quarterbacks, even if that is his resume, let's see what he can do with a seemingly capable quarterback. Though he is at the back end of his career, let's see what type of. I think they were trying to gear up for some type of a run right there that also didn't favor, and it also made him look bad too. But I'm gonna tell you, bro, I don't think he wanted Bryce Young, man. I think he really wanted C.J. Stroud, though. Like
As in
I
Frank
think it
or
was a
Tepper.
Frank, there was a thing, there was a little something in the news that came out a while ago by Cal Bailey, a former, like, he's like some type of an analyst. I forgot what I think an NFL analyst though, but he had said that during the draft day, Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud, but Tepper came down and insisted that they would do things another way. Like, he kind of took that decision in his own hands, and that's another thing to what y'all said before about these owners. These couple of names of bad owners. Like, the one trait that I see that seems to be consistent in bad ownership is them
They
trying
stick
to
their hands
do.
in the football stuff,
There you go. There you
not the
go. They
still
try to
but
do too
yeah.
much. They try to do too much. They try to do a lot. Dan Snyder included. I just feel like that just
Jerry
reminded me
Jones, he
of
does a
that. So
better job of it, but
he
January never
actually
works
fell
out.
back. He fell back a little bit. He started letting
He
certain
let
people.
his son kind of take over, but for a
Yeah,
lot
that
of
kind of
years
helped him out.
he was owner, president, GM. He was everything. He was everything
Yeah,
but the coach.
yeah, and we already see that Cowboys didn't lead to no success for them. So I think there's a
Yeah,
trait there with these bad owners that we need to pay attention to, and also in addition to the fact that like Tepper said, I remember David Tepper addressed the media, and he said that the original plan were for them to trade the number 2 pick, and they basically they didn't expect the Texans to take C.J. Stroud. So I guess he was trying to say that they based their plan off of a prediction. They thought that the Texans were going to go with Bryce Young, but they did surprise them and took CJ. But nevertheless, they're happy with Bryce Young and the pick, and they're confident in him and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like you said, it comes down to development also. Like, I don't think Frank Reich could just, maybe he just couldn't work with Bryce Young, but I mean, come on, dude. He had like 9 touchdowns in 11 games. That's bad O line. They had injuries on the offensive line, in addition to just free agencies not working out, Miles Sanders and Adam Thielen included. Even Von Bell. You forgot that Von Bell is a safety there with the Bengals from last year. They picked him up. He's not performing this year either, dude. Like, it's just they're 31st in the league in the red zone. Like, dead last in rushing. It's just bad. But dead last in defense. I mean, I think Bryce got one game winning drive. Brian Burns got 6 sacks this year
Against
after
CJ
having
Stroud.
21 sacks. Yeah, bro, right after, like, yeah, get CJ Stroud. Brian Burns 6 sacks this year after having 21 sacks the past 2 seasons. Like, he's already waiting to get cashed out, and he's ready to bounce after his, like, cash me out, and so I can just go ahead and bounce. So it's just like they just got, like, problems ahead of Frank Reich, and I feel like it's just he got the bad end of the stick again, and that's just bad for his legacy, bro. But at the end of the day, they're tore up on the floor up.
yeah, man. It feels like they're gonna be in a long rebuilding stretch, and
Adam Thielen's averaging 9 yards a catch, and he's already got like 100 targets. That's horrible. Like,
always tend to I always have this thing where I tend to make everything about the Eagles, but it's like it just makes me grateful that we have the system that we have in place. Like, even in our lows, like 2011, 2012, 2020. Like, we've had some bad seasons. 2015, but we've never had like a sustained stretch of bad football. It's always been like whenever we've had to rebuild, it's been more of a retool, and it's just like a quick fix. And it's like maybe you're not instantly championship contenders, but it's like you're back in the playoffs. You can win 9 or 10 games. Like, this is going to be a long stretch for Carolina. They won't make
For
the
sure.
playoffs next year, and probably not the year after. Like we saw with Houston, like they're in the playoff hunt, but it took them a few years.
Yes.
They
Like
had a
this,
couple
And
stints. They had like 2 or 3 stints where they did crack the playoff.
and
But
then
post.
and then
Post Deshaun Watson.
po-
I'm saying
and
like it.
posters and what we're
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what we're missing about like this Houston Texans team is that like this draft class that they were able to acquire was really like not only were they able to get the quarterback, but they were able to get the defensive end of the future, and then they were also able to get what is looking like to be their wide receiver of the future in Tank Dell. Tank Dell putting
Yeah,
up numbers. Will Anderson, while he's not hasn't had the best season overall, I will
man.
say I think
Imagine they drafted Jalen.
exactly,
Imagine they drafted Jalen
exactly,
Carter.
exactly,
Oh my
exactly.
I
god.
love,
So it's
and that's
Oh my
a
god.
real quick,
They
Greg. Hey,
could
Greg,
have.
shout out, real quick, Greg, shout out, great name drop on Tank Dell. Did you know, sidebar, C.J. Stroud got drafted before him, and Tank Dell texted him. It was like, yo, tell him to come get me, and he called him. And the next day they drafted Tank Dell. They
They
worked
did.
out with each
Yeah.
other at the combine, and they wound up having a connection, and it just wound up clicking. Like, who knew that Tank Dell would be that? You know what I'm saying?
He's
Like,
a
wow.
tremendous fantasy receiver. I don't have him, but I played against him, and he it's just rough. I should
bro.
have picked him up in free agency, man.
And then even
I love
and
what they
then
got going on down there.
and then even like the Cowboys cast-offs. I forget what the tight end from the Cowboys last season what his name was, but
Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz is looking pretty good. Noah Brown is his name. He's been had a little
He's
bit of
revamped
resurgence.
his career.
Yeah, a little bit
Because
of
he's been around. He's revamped his career.
exactly. So it's like I don't know. I feel like they've been hitting a lot.
D'Amico, bro. Shout out D'Amico Ryans. Got them.
Philadelphia
Exactly.
Eagles legend
Yeah, for like 2
for a
seasons.
couple years.
Yeah.
For a couple years, yeah. But that was Panthers talk, man. It's gonna be a long stretch for them. Probably by the time they get that new stadium down there, like 2027, 2028, maybe they'll be ready to compete again. We'll see.
Hopefully.
I mean, I personally don't care, but for those Carolina fans that we may have out there, I'm praying for y'all.
Right. At least y'all have the Charlotte
But
Hornets.
at least they don't have any. Oh Lord. No, I mean they got the Hurricanes, bro.
Right.
Hurricanes
All
are
right.
good.
All right. All right.
They got Duke. Yeah.
Oh, please. Can't stand Duke. Everybody hates Duke. But let's talk about. Come on. I know what everybody loves. We love gambling, huh? No, just me. I'm the only
Come on, man.
degenerate.
Let's close it up. Let's close it up with this, baby. What a better way to close it up, right?
Sunday parlays. Do we got anything?
All right.
I got a 4-legger for you guys, but if any one of you want to
Yeah,
start,
let me tell y'all. Hold on. Let me allow me to get off the screen real quick so I can show you what I'm cooking in this FanDuel account that I got. God bless.
how many leagues is it?
See, I'm gonna do a calm little like 5 John this time.
Yeah, I was thinking we just stick to something
Yeah, just something
short and
calm.
sweet.
Yeah, something just to get.
Like TV, like on TV, they usually do like
I
two
just got
games, but
anytime. I just got four. I just got four players for anytime touchdowns. I just
oh, you
got that.
took
I
player
just got
props.
that for
Okay,
that. Yeah, we going straight up. I got four
I got
guys
all
this
team
week.
props.
I
So,
got four guys this week. I'm gonna drop these four names. I got four guys this week.
oh, let
Anytime.
Greg go first. Let Greg go
Put these
first.
on
All
your
right,
joints, baby.
all
Yeah,
right.
no, I'm saying what
Here,
I got coming up.
all
I
right,
got you. I got you. Good.
all right. So here we go. I got okay. Hold on. I got Los Angeles Chargers. I got them covering the spread against the New England Patriots. The spread is 5.5. So I got them. They're supposed to beat the
Bad.
New
I
England
like that.
Patriots by 5.5. I like that. This is the one that people are giving me some heckling me about, but I'm saying like, yo, trust me. I got the Arizona Cardinals covering the spread against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 5.5 points. I think if the Pittsburgh
That's
Steelers
not
do,
insane.
I think if the Pittsburgh Steelers do beat the Arizona Cardinals, it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be like by 3 points. And then my other sleeper one is Broncos covering the spread against the Texans. If you're really feeling real frisky, I would do Broncos money line and Broncos covering the spread. Because I'm not gonna lie, I think the Broncos gonna win this game.
That's too
I
risky.
do.
That's too risky. But
And I hear you.
who would have thought though? Broncos Texans is a playoff. Like it's not a playoff matchup, but it has playoff implications.
What you mean? See.
It's not a. I mean, it's not a playoff game. I'm just saying it has playoff implications.
No. It certainly does, and I'm just saying like. Everyone was thinking like, like when we let Russ cook, like we gotta let him cook it like a 5-star cuisine. He burns stuff. You know what I mean? We gotta give him simple meals at first. Let him cook chicken and rice and see how he does off that.
He was making Kraft mac and cheese last year, man.
Exactly. Not even. That's a disrespect to Kraft mac and cheese.
No, it's not, because Kraft mac and cheese deserves to be disrespected. What?
Well, all right. That's another conversation for another day. All right. So to finish the parlay, I got Miami Dolphins covering the spread against the Washington Commanders. I don't believe in that franchise anymore. I'm sorry. The spread is 9.5.
Them to begin with?
I thought that when I say that because I had them in my parlay last week, I had the Commanders money line against the Giants and they lost. I said, bro, you let Tommy DeVito, you let Danny DeVito's nephew beat you? Like, bro, that's crazy. And then I got Eagles covering I got the Eagles covering the spread against the 49ers, of course. So
spread.
Yeah. I did also, and this won't be as applicable to everyone in this chat, but I did also have Tony Pollard scoring a touchdown at any time, and then the Seahawks covering the spread against the Cowboys.
Do you have a score on that right now?
I don't.
I know you're off the app. I'm not off the app.
Yeah, it's a 7 point. It's a well, I just know. So that's a 7-leg parlay, and that parlay for $10 you would have made 1,500.
Yeah, I didn't calculate mine. I didn't press any buttons. I just looked at the lines. Like, okay, I like that. I like that.
No, you good. In terms of
I did that though.
In terms of the game, it's 21-20 Seahawks at halftime.
Ooh! Congrats to all the overbetters.
Hey,
Johnny, what you got, my boy?
Hey, man, listen, it's same here. If you guys want to go where the money at, we already know that Greg got us getting paid right here.
Where the money reside? You feel me?
Yeah, bro. And we already know where else the money at. It's those touchdown predictions, right? You can just do a straight list of touchdown predictions. I like going big, and I like going based off of what I see. Sometimes stats don't matter, like Greg said. Sometimes you got to go by the odds, man. Listen, dog, I got my first touchdown prediction. I put Tyreek Hill on your list against Washington. He's gonna fry that secondary. They always been sweet. Already Tyreek Hill. That's an easy check right there. Also, let's head down to the Lions versus the Saints. Sam Laporta, that rookie tight end, has been getting open, and Jared Goff love his tight ends, bro, especially in the end zone. Put down Sam Laporta for an anytime touchdown as well. Right along on that same ticket with Tyreek Hill. Let's head over to the Jets and the Falcons game. I know the Jets got that top defense and it's pretty stingy, hard to score on them, but I'm really loving Bijan Robinson, leading the team in touchdowns, been doing it all year. If the Falcons do score, it's going to be through Bijan.
Learn how to use the boy,
bro. Come on now, you got to put Bijan.
I don't like that one.
You don't like Bijan down for that one?
I don't like Bijan for that one. Nope, no sir.
You don't like that against the Jets? You got to put him down for it. I'm telling you, he can catch that. He can catch it or run it up in there. Why not? All he got to get is one. I'm telling you.
Robinson scored his first touchdown in like week 8. They don't utilize that man.
I'm telling you.
What they did to Kyle Pitts?
Overtime. Put him on. Check the odds, dog. I'm telling you. Put him down for that. All right, but listen.
Remember when Kyle Pitts looked like he was going to be the generational tight end? Things can switch up fast in Atlanta is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I ain't talking about career-wise, but yeah, I'm feeling Bijan. I'm feeling him. That's a risk, though. I like it, Greg. But Greg, look, I like Zach Moss. I like Jack Moss for the Titans and the Colts.
Mm,
Jonathan Taylor might not even be playing. I like Jack Moss for a sneaky touchdown.
yeah, no,
Might
for
catch one,
sure.
might get in there.
No, for
Anytime
sure.
touchdown score.
For
Okay.
Those are my
sure.
four, those are my four legs. My biggest risk probably is Bijan because I'm telling you that I know the Jets got that stingy defense. I feel like
I'm
Bijan is
definitely tailing
overdue.
some of y'all stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
And then
Telling
tailing
The
dog.
hard.
Falcons got that
I'm
stingy
tailing.
offense.
Man, I don't need them to win. I ain't putting for money lines. I'm trying to do. I'm the anytime touchdowns. Shoot,
Yo,
who else is scoring on
they
it?
they
I'm
can lose
telling you,
42-7
that's
as
a
long as
trap game.
Bijan got that
I
one
might
touchdown.
watch out for that trap game.
I'll slide my little four picks for y'all real quick. First of
Who
all, I'm
you
gonna
got,
take
Jonah?
for the Chargers and the Patriots. I'm taking the under in that game, 40.5 points. The Patriots offense just isn't good. Point blank. I feel like the Chargers are gonna carry most of the score in that game. They won't have to. They won't have to fill the score sheet at all to win that game. Some they can win 27-3, 27-6, 24-10. I mean, the weather up here is not going to be that great again, as I mentioned earlier. It's going to rain. I feel like this raining here is going to be raining in New England too. Maybe to a lesser extent, maybe a little more. But even on a cold, like even on a bright, sunny, 45-degree day in November or December, it Patriots offense in the toilet. I don't think the Chargers are going to score 35 plus points because they won't need to. So I'm taking under in that one. And of course, if you want to take Chargers money line, you're more than welcome to because it's the Patriots. Eagles money line, gotta take it, gotta hammer that. And I like the spread, Greg. I like that, but I'm gonna take the
Taking
money
it.
line because it's plus money. It's plus 135.
More bread,
I'm not betting against Jalen Hurts at home. Are
Yeah.
you
especially not in the
crazy?
form.
Oh, yeah.
Deshaun Jackson retirement game.
Come on. Call.
All the bulletin board material from the 49ers. It just feels like it's
No.
a lock.
I think
It's a
Bradbury
lock
about to put up
for
his
a lot.
best game of the season.
And guess what?
I
Guess
can't
what?
wait for
I
this
will I
matchup.
will gladly eat my crow if we lose. If the Eagles lose, I'll sit up here and eat the crow. But they're not. They're not. They're not. So
Not my team.
sleep it there. Eagles money line plus 135. Hammer.
Make no mistake. Make no mistake about it. We have to. This is important because the winner or loser might
Listen.
possibly meet each other again later on in the playoffs, and that's home field
Yeah,
advantage.
this is for home
So
field.
we need this tiebreaker. We need to win
Listen.
this.
Listen. I remember Tyreek Hill talking to the Kansas City Chiefs when they was gonna go to Germany, and he said he gonna give everybody work. His stat line was 6 catches for 46 yards.
Forced fumble
When
and a
you talk,
fumble.
yes, when you talk, people listen. And I need the Eagles to be listening to everything Debo said, George Kittle said, everything the defense said, Nick Bosa said. Yeah, say all that on Sunday.
Like it's not even just a player. It went up to like John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan talking. Of course, their fan base just wouldn't let it go.
Right.
The radio stations just like,
And you
oh,
and you know
let it
Nick
go.
and you know our
You put
head
a
coach
backup
Nick.
tight end on Hassan Reddick.
Yeah. You know our
It
head
wasn't
coach
even
Nick.
Kittle blocking him. It was the backup. Like
Yeah.
y'all got him hurt. Y'all did it to yourselves. Like, and then same thing. Hassan Reddick unchecked hits Josh Johnson, slams him down. It was a clean hit, but he fell in the back of his head. And he got concussed. It just happens. It's football. But nevertheless, man, Eagles money line hammering that. I took the under in the Chargers Patriots game. I'm going to take the over in this one. Chiefs Packers Sunday Night Football. Look, it's Pat Mahomes' first game at Lambeau. All the eyes are going to be on him, and Travis, and maybe even Taylor might pop up. I don't know where she at on her tour. I don't know. I don't care. But I feel like Jordan Love is going to take a little bit of that personally because the Packers, they kind of got something to play for still, thanks to the Lions and being who they are on Thanksgiving. They're 5-6. Packers are 5-6. They're not dead yet, and it's a must-win game.
I
I
was
feel
think
like
I
they're
would
not going to win.
yeah.
They're not going to win, but I feel like it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a bit of a shootout. 27, 21, 28, 24 type of game. It's going to be a good one on Sunday night. I'm really just praying for a good Sunday night football game because we haven't got quite a lot of them this year. We haven't gotten a lot. Even the ones even the Eagles, that was a blowout in a sense. So
I
I'm
think
hoping
that
for a
I
good
think
game.
that I think
I'll
that
take the
Jordan
over.
I think this is Jordan Love's get back game because if you recall, Jordan Love's first career start was against the Chiefs either last season or 2 seasons ago. I can't remember. And he played
at Arrowhead.
yep, and he played abysmal. So I think this is going to
And they
be
had his mama all the way. His
yep.
mom, his mom was all the way up in the last row, like up in the
Listen,
nosebleeds. Like
listen, and
Jesus,
the GM
why they got that lady up there, man?
and the GM Brian Budikunst had said, and I was not surprised that Jordan Love was going to start to play well because the GM Brian Budikunst said that these last 10 games was going to decide what they were going to do at the quarterback position. And I knew, hello?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
I hear
Oh,
you,
all right.
bro. I hear you,
Yeah,
bro.
the last 10 games would decide what they were going to do at the quarterback position. So I knew Jordan Love was going to start to play better. And if Jordan Love beats Patrick Mahomes in Lambeau, yeah, you can book he's going to be back next season for sure. For sure.
I feel like he solidified it another year for himself. I feel like just regardless of what happens tonight,
No,
I feel like the Packers kind of don't have a choice right now, so you got to just keep developing the kid. But I feel like win or lose, it'll be they gonna fill the stat sheet a little bit. I'm not saying like Kansas City versus the Rams a few years ago on Monday Night Football. Nothing crazy, just this typical standard 28-24 Sunday Night Football game. Last but not least, I got the Buccaneers -5 against the Panthers. Yeah, give me that easily. Take that. I think they can win that game by 10. They can win
Easy
by
work.
14.
Easy work.
Panthers, we just discussed them. They're 1-10. Got nothing to play for right
that's
now.
a trap game for me. See, I can't do trap
Trap
games.
game. I understand this division. But it's
It's
like
it's a division. They just lost their coach, so they have a new voice. They have a new voice as and their interim head coach leading the charge. So they're going to be more motivated, and I think you're going to see a little bit more of an inspired effort, a la
they
how
can
the
also ruin the Bears, tank a little bit and start
exactly
winning games.
exactly
Yeah, yeah. Don't mess with a team that gets a new coach. Ask the Raiders. Push
exactly
yours.
exactly exactly.
That doesn't translate to every single team though. But I do understand this. I do understand your point
I
though.
think at this point
You
you're
just
playing
saw
for
it with
your
the Raiders.
pride, and you only have one win on the season. You know what
That's
I
their
mean?
talent.
You know what I mean? And
And the
and it's week
Buccaneers are
12.
still playing for a division title. So it's like
No, but
they're not gonna
also,
just they're
but
not gonna roll over and
but
die.
you're also forgetting Baker Mayfield as their starting quarterback, and it's like when you have expectations for Baker is when he lets you down.
Yeah, I know. But I was on a Baker train
I
this year, and
mean,
he's
No,
been playing.
you were on the Baker train after the 3-1 start.
Buccaneers are also at home too,
You were on
if
the
you
Baker
want to
train after
consider
the
that.
3-1 start.
Oh, come on.
That's when you
Is he
started
at
having
3,200
expectations.
yet? Is he at 3,200 yet?
I mean, we all knew that 3-1 start was fraudulent. We knew. Come on, we knew
But
that.
I'm saying, but like we didn't have expectations for Baker coming into the season. We had expectations once they got off to the
No,
3-1 start.
it was just this is just a bridge year between Tom and who they want in the future.
And
We
once
knew we knew it was a bridge year, but
and what
I feel like for this particular Sunday, they can beat the Panthers by a touchdown.
so you say.
Not even a blowout,
I think it's gonna
but at
be
least a touchdown.
3 points.
Good call.
All right. Well,
All right, that's
those
why
are
we
our
bet.
picks. If you want to tail them, you can. If you want to make some money, you should. So, hey,
Yeah.
that's all I got for you. That's all we have for you tonight. Just the three of us. We still went an hour and 20 plus minutes because that's just what we do in our Strict Zone podcast. We
Yeah.
just talk. That's what we do. And we do it as good as, if not better, than a lot of these podcasts out here. You don't know about us yet, but you will in the future. You will. You going to know about us. This is 140. We just getting started. This is just the beginning. This is a great episode tonight. I'm Jonah Wooden, joined by Just Johnny and Mr. Greg Damas.
Cooking with grease.
And we on YouTube, so you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, bell, comment.
Bow.
Better hit that bell, because that's how you know we upload. That's how you know we here. That's how you know we in your
We
city.
stay
That's how
with the
we know we.
stats.
That's how you know we here. You gotta hit the bell to subscribe
How Gilly be doing it, and
and get
it's just
notified.
like that, right?
Hey.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one. Be safe. Be easy. Peace.